stream scene. We'll do the games in a minute. Oh god. This has definitely started off weird. Let's see if my mic is working. Yes, it is! And I don't know if my music is on. Where's my music? Add my music! Give me my music! I don't even know what the hell I'm listening to. Oh, that's the marble thingy. No. No. Where's custom music? It's already... This is definitely most certainly a thing. Yes, this is most certainly a thing. There. This'll do. Okay, so, I don't know if I'm live. I'm gonna check I'm live. So yeah. I'm gonna be reacting. Well, hang on. I gotta check my stream feed. That's... Let's see here. I want to make sure everything's working. There we go! Everything's working. Okay. Alright. Viewers, for those who watch this on YouTube later, my reaction/review today is a well-known episode that I had on the channel before Carnage vs. Lucy. Carnage vs. Lucy. Yes. This is one of those episodes. It's not really a heavy requested episode. It's more of a bonus react. And plus, I didn't know what to stream today, so yeah. Like I said, consider this a bonus reaction until like the likes of Reverse Flash pounding Goku Black into oblivion comes out. Yeah. I said it correctly. There's no way Goku Black is going to win. Reverse Flash is going to obliterate him. So... But you don't want to know who else got obliterated? Well, you're about to find out in this episode. And also, no, the next time doesn't matter because I've already seen the episode. So, if you want to see the original videos, it'll be in the... Well, the original video, they'll be in the description below. So, yeah. Because I have no idea what else to react to. I recently just got done watching Star Wars Visions, which my mom was not thrilled because it's anime. And I'm like, what's wrong with the anime? And she's like, you like it, I don't. But yeah, never mind that. Like I said, you want to see the original video, they'll be in the description. And keep in mind, this is an older video.
My ex-wives have taught me anything, it's that there's no real limit to crazy.
Like Carnage, Marvel's dangerously insane psychopath.
Or Lucy, the messed up murder lady from Elfen Lied.
Elfen Lied. It's German.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
He's
it's German.
Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Heh.
Cletus Cassidy didn't have the chance to be a well-adjusted adult.
And the fact that Carnage is coming
was already crazy.
to
was just a boy, his
a
father
new movie,
was
that gives me another excuse to react to this. And the
She
fact that he's
tried
also
to
in
kill
Fortnite.
Cletus.
which she did because
Favorite
Cletus
song,
had
Freebird?
tortured her dog Fifi.
Well, go Miss Cassidy. All dog murderers deserve death, even if they're 8. Right, Jack Spaniels? Good boy. Oh, and Cletus murdered his grandma too, because she's kind of a bitch.
He didn't stop there and wound up burning down his own orphanage. Years later, he was finally arrested and convicted for 11 murders.
You mean the 11 murders they knew about?
But while in prison, Cletus found that he wasn't alone.
I didn't get the chance to read that. Give me a sec.
Happened to be for 11 murders.
Okay. Cletus currently believes his mother died protecting him from his father. However, his strong posthumous feelings from his mother may have caused false memory syndrome. Also, keep in mind, before I click play... Ah, shit. Is my music still running? Yeah, my music is still running. Fuck. Okay, that's fixed. Anyways, keep in mind that this was way before Carnage got into Fortnite, and this is way before Venom Let There Be Carnage. So, and this is also known as one of the few episodes that people always question the outcome for, because, oh, symbiote powers, and I know people are gonna shout at me in the comments, being like, but you love symbiotes. Why wouldn't you take the side of the symbiote? Because if I did that, I would have counted this as a loss. I took the side of the anime chick. Because here's the thing. When it came to this episode, I took and went to a guy who's watched a fuck ton of anime. Which being my best friend, Deadman312. Big shout out to you. It'll be into your channel, your Twitch channel will be in the description. But yeah, I went to him, because he's like my real life friend. I asked him about Elfen Lied. Or, sorry, now I'm saying it. Thanks, Boomstick! Elfen Lied. Essentially. And he told me everything I needed to know about the character that Carnage was fighting at the time of the episodes coming out. Yeah! It's pretty brutal. Once we get to that segment.
You mean the 11 murders they knew about?
But while in prison, Cletus found that he wasn't alone. In fact, his cellmate just so happened to be Eddie Brock.
Who you may know is that creepy guy covered in black ink called Venom.
That ink is actually a symbiotic alien known as a Clintar. This symbiote bonded with Eddie, transforming him into a powerful and violent rival for the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
But what Eddie didn't know was, it was pregnant. Oh, time to go out for cigarettes, Eddie.
Well, symbiotes actually reproduce asexually. When Eddie became Venom once again, the symbiote sort of oozed out its spawn and
Okay, sorry if I paused it at a weird time. The Clintar were created by an evil deity to kill Celestials. They eventually became a noble species, but remain easily influenced by the personalities of their hosts.
left it there.
Just like me and my dad. Well, this new symbiote immediately attached itself to Cletus, but unlike the Venom one, it merged through a cut on his skin, creating this suit made out of blood. Ew, that doesn't seem sanitary.
And together they became Carnage.
A fitting name for a psycho mass murderer. Cletus and his new symbiote quickly got up to what they knew best, creating maximum carnage. Remember that game?
Oh my god, I need to play that game on the channel someday. I have the comic book, actually, since that game is literally based on that freaking comic. Anyways, unlike Venom, the Carnage symbiote shares a perfect union with Cletus. They rarely disagree with each other and therefore act as one being more consistently.
New superpowers, he was a vicious force to be reckoned with. He has the same superhuman strength
So, yeah.
and durability as Venom.
Pretty
and
much the same
supposedly
shit as Venom,
even
except
greater, like a Venom 2.0.
a lot
He
crazier.
can shapeshift to make all sorts of killer weapons, like axes, swords, and spikes. He can even rip those weapons off himself or launch them at his victims. Have you ever tried ripping your fingers off and throwing them at people? Because that's just kind of what Carnage does.
The symbiote can also reach out with dozens of
Strength,
chaotic,
speed,
blood-soaked
stamina,
tendrils, perfect for
360
strangling
degrees,
the people
perception,
who doesn't
camouflage,
want to
possession,
skip.
regeneration,
With a
shapeshifting,
single
wild cry,
punch,
and webbing.
Carnage can
Though they
infect a
do
person
not use
with
the
a portion of
possession
his
at
symbiote,
all during the fight.
controlling or
Which
torturing
is
them
kind
at
of a
his
bummer.
leisure. He has unbelievable
But you'll see
regeneration,
why in a minute.
And even if somebody finds a way to disable his suit, the Carnage symbiote lives inside his bloodstream and can come back out through something as meager as a paper cut.
Also, the symbiote literally sees everything around it. It's kind of like wearing a suit made of eyeballs.
But let's say you're able to dodge his projectiles, outrun the tendrils, and get out of sight from the eyeball suit. You're still not safe. He will catch you, because he can sprout wings and fly.
What the hell? Since when?
Since realizing that shapeshifting is a really, really useful ability.
So he's able to fly, he's totally aware of everything around him, and he's
And the
full
fact
of
that he has a
blood.
shield
This
impaled
guy's
in
like
him.
a giant mosquito of death.
Sure. Carnage has said he's at least 10 times
Yes, he
faster
even
than
fought
the average
Batman.
man. But that's pretty modest, because Venom has shown he can move fast enough to catch up to a bullet after it's fired. And Carnage is frequently shown to be as fast or even faster than him. This puts Carnage over 1,500 miles per hour. over twice the speed of sound.
He's lifted a 50-ton tank, and he can overpower Spider-Man, whose best supported strength feat was lifting that giant machine thing that weighed as much as a 1965 locomotive.
Which would put it around 130 tons.
And you know those weird tendril things crawling around his body? When he wanted to find a missing journalist in New York, he climbed to the top of the Empire State Building and just stretched them all out over the city.
He found her by this coastline, and this building nearby looks a lot like the consolidated Edison plant between 14
I didn't
and
read the
50s.
other one.
That's about 2 miles away.
And as a thank you for saving her, she shot
Also,
Carnage in the head.
Ugh, I can't even fucking read tonight. Carnage also appeared there shortly afterwards, and he likely transported himself to his tendrils. He also transported himself through the internet wiring before. Doesn't that sound suspiciously nightmare fuel?
Well, fine. Save your own ass next time, lady.
He was fine. Carnage's durability doesn't come from a sturdy build. Instead, his form is malleable and somewhat fluid. Technically, his human body
Oh yeah, I
still
forgot
exists
he was in the
somewhere that
X-Men.
Massive blood, flesh, and writhing tentacles. But even when he's hit by a train, struck by missiles, or blasted apart by a tritium bomb, he can always just pull himself back together.
So long as there's a piece of him still around. Given the size of that blast, it looks like Carnage survived a blast worth 125 tons of TNT.
Very impressive. Also, he once smothered and survived a gene bomb designed to wipe out all of humanity except mutants.
He's even survived being ripped in half and thrown into space.
By
Seriously,
Sentry.
What kills this guy?
Well, he does share the same weaknesses as other symbiotes, namely extremely loud noises and heat.
Well, until he traded the sound one for a weakness against some Cthulhu-looking magic.
The vulnerability switch-up applies to the Carnage of Earth 616, Marvel's primary timeline. Most alternate versions of Carnage retain his weakness to sound.
Carnage has been through a lot, but with two minds as one, he always gets back up to keep doing what he loves.
Murder, murder, and, more murder.
Carnage is chaos!
Okay, get ready to
There
witness.
are some mysteries the
Now,
world
before you begin with, get ready to witness one of the most brutal fucking animes ever invented. Well, mainly brutal anime and brutal anime character in general.
holds, which no one is meant to know. Every day, something, somewhere, comes ever closer to destroying everything you hold dear. One such secret is the Dicloni.
No big deal. They're just a race of crazy people who want to infect human beings to make more Dicloni and then wipe out all of humanity. Oh, look at the cute little horns. They look like kitty ears.
To accomplish this, the Dicloni would have to rely on their queen, Carnage, better known as Lucy.
Luckily for everyone, some important people figured this out and captured her. And now it's time for your only warning.
Right, Lucy's methods, let's just say they're
Thank
not
God,
for the faint.
thank God for the
And
censor.
let's also say that those lucky important people were about to get very, very unlucky.
Thank God for the fucking censor. Yeah. Now you see what I mean by
Jesus
brutal
Christ,
anime.
What's happening?
To truly understand, let's take a step back. As an infant, Lucy was abandoned by her parents and left alone to suffer a life of constant discrimination.
It was the horns, wasn't it?
Right, even the average kid hates growing up in an orphanage, but it was especially painful for her.
Until she found a stray puppy and decided to take care of it. That adorable little critter and her became best friends. And then the other kids from the orphanage went out and beat it to death and forced her to watch. Well, no shit, she wants to kill everyone. Go ahead, Lucy. Tear up those little bastards. Whoa,
Yeah.
damn.
This was the first
Yeah,
time.
now
Lucy
you
unleashed
understand.
her Psychokinetic vector.
This.
As a Diclonius queen,
Thank
Lucy
you
is
for the
using
censor
vectors to
again!
infect ordinary human beings with the Diclonius virus.
Oh, but she uses them for so much more.
For simplicity's sake, think of the vectors as invisible arms, which can
vectors.
sprout from Lucy's back.
Invisible arms.
Lucy can use up to 28
They have very powerful
vectors with a normal
frequencies that
range
can
of about
vibrate,
6 to
cut
7
you in
feet.
half,
When
or
she gets
explode.
really serious,
Just to sum
her
it all
horns
up.
grow and the vectors get way longer and
And
stronger.
speaking of vectors, it is possible she can even use more vectors. Mariko, another Dicloni, used 50 vectors with a range of 36 feet. 11 meters.
She can vibrate her vectors at different frequencies, and each level of vibration has different effects.
Kinda like that thing that my ex-wife had on the nightstand
Why?
that I thought was one of those crazy pens.
At low frequencies,
Why?
her vectors can pass
Why
through
was
objects
that
with no effect.
necessary?
At a medium frequency, the vectors become
That
solid.
scene
like
in general is
paint,
not
while still
necessary, and
completely
okay.
invisible. These can be used
Yeah.
as shields and lift heavy objects.
Oh man, if I had those things, I'd be messing with people all the time. Like tying their shoes from across the room. Also, since this seems to be a thing in this episode, she can fly.
It's not really flying, she's just lifting herself off the ground. With the third frequency, Lucy turns her vectors into invisible blades. These can cut through people and bend metal.
And with the last and highest frequency,
Yeah!
it's explosive. No, really, at this level, they finally become visible and can strike with enough force to detonate. Damn, they don't call this chick the queen for nothing.
Unfortunately, Lucy is not always in control of what she does. Turns out she has developed several alternate personalities.
Yeah, getting shot in the head can do that to you.
That injury specifically created New, a passive, almost childlike persona which exists as a coping
There's Lucy.
mechanism for Lucy's
Now,
trouble.
okay, there's Lucy, quiet and withdrawn, apathetic towards murder, often enjoys causing brutality. And then there's New, childlike innocent, sweet and naive. DNA voice, genetic Dicloni instinct, merciless and violent, pushes Lucy to spread Dicloni virus and kill humans.
Trauma. As New, Lucy would finally find friends and began forging a path toward hopeless redemption.
Unlike her third personality, the so-called DNA voice, which constantly whispers in her ear that she's got a job to do. Kill them all, Lucy, before they hurt more puppies. Ooh, I'm spooky DNA.
She could do it too. Lucy's fast enough to block bullets from a point-blank range. And once, she actually saved herself from a bullet after she had already been shot. As in, while the bullet was traveling between her skin and her heart.
It looks like she's getting shot by an MP5, which fires bullets at nearly 900 miles per hour.
With her body type, the distance between Lucy's skin and heart is less than an inch, probably around 2.4 centimeters. Given the bullet speed and the distance her vector would have to reach from her back before the bullet hit her heart, her vector had to move nearly 1,900 miles per hour. That's over twice the speed of sound.
She can throw a pen through a guy's skull. Brutal. And even toss this giant
She
boulder.
fucking John
When
Wicked them.
compared to this
She
guy,
fucking
Ken,
John
who
Wicked
we
them.
know is 6 feet tall, we can determine the boulder
Okay,
weighs
okay,
about
yes, I know.
75
John Wick
tons.
came way
Her vectors are
after
also
this
tough enough to
anime.
block a missile from the Air Force. While the exact model of missile is
But I had to
unspecified,
do the
it is
meme.
fairly large and likely an air-to-surface type.
I bet it's one of the Air Force's SLAMs, or standoff land attack missiles.
And this is
built
why
off the
people
back
want
of the
John
Navy's
Wick in
Harpoon
Death Battle,
missile.
because he's
in
brutal.
Fact, a harpoon is used against a different Diclonius at one point. So this beast
So, yeah,
slammed into her vector at 500
pretty
miles per
short
hour
story.
with a 1,000
Long story short,
pound
Lucy's
explosive
brutal.
yield, and it didn't even phase her.
And we're
Even
not gonna see
without
the
a
Blue
vector
Apron now,
shield,
'cause
she survived a pretty nasty
screw that.
explosion herself.
Oh, right, I'm
it
watching
did
this
knock
through
her
Rooster
out.
Teeth, so there's probably gonna be
Impressive.
no
But
ad
how
on
about
this
the
damn
time
thing.
she punched through an island. A strike literally compared to nuclear fusion. This kicked up a 100-foot
Yeah,
tidal wave and a
remember the
9.2
weakness, the
magnitude earthquake.
heat?
A level so high, there's only been
For
4 comparable
Carnage?
quakes ever recorded.
Her
Nuclear
vectors
is
can
very
be as
hot.
wide as buildings and reach into outer space. Except that's about when Lucy reaches her limit.
Right. As a Diclonius, Lucy has a few severe weaknesses. Her vectors can be nullified if she's struck in the forehead, or if one of her horns are broken.
Also, if Lucy pushes herself too hard, she starts to melt. Kinda like ice cream out in the Texas sun. It's not pretty. She's just a big puddle of goop with a face, but she's still a total badass, even at her meltiest.
While suffering agonizing pain, she was capable of single-handedly halting a massive military threat, while healing and protecting the person she loved most. Perhaps redemption wasn't so hopeless after all.
Hey, let's watch her kill some more people.
Get ready for some pain and suffering! And brutality, murder! God. I
All
warned
right,
you,
combatants
folks.
are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
Alright. Final thoughts. Carnage is gonna die. I figured I'd say that now because, yeah. And like I said, this was an episode that I've been wanting to get out for a long time, and I never got the chance to because I had a lot of shit that went down with my computers and shit. So, thankfully now I have a desktop so I can do all this shit for you. Get ready to witness Carnage get brutally destroyed. I do like Chorus with Carnage, though. The music is pretty awesome. It's pretty dark, and it's pretty brutal. Fitting for both these characters. Yeah. There's the fucking regeneration. I honestly thought that Lucy was gonna get possessed there, but sadly that doesn't happen. Like, they mentioned the possession, but they don't even use it.
It's ready. You're bleeding. Carnage is starving.
Talk about fucking Freaky Friday creepy.
Get back.
I think he said he's gonna pinch her eye. I don't know. I couldn't understand him. Well,
Does it hurt
sorry,
you?
Carnage, you're fucked.
Don't worry. I'll put you out of your misery.
Vector's gone visible, and there's nuclear. Fitting last words. Fitting last words. And a lot of people hate this episode because, oh, Carnage should have won, yeah. Well, you keep forgetting how broken anime can get.
Then Cletus. Lucy really.
Like, have you
is
seen
Star Killer,
Captain Marvel
and for
versus,
good reason.
Carnage was a
Android
challenging
18.
opponent. It was incredibly difficult for Lucy to deal any lasting
That just
damage
shows you
against
that people are
He
that
had the
stupid.
durability.
While Carnage has the power to infect and control the people. See, they totally ignored this. The people who kept saying Carnage should have won because of the infection. While Carnage has the power to infect and control other people, he has only instigated such possession through an initial physical connection and cannot do so through his projectiles.
The advantage in the bag, though Lucy fighting as a puddle proved she could take a lot of pain and keep on fighting. Sadly, Carnage came up short in pretty much everything else.
Right, Carnage was tough, but not invincible. Even his surviving that gene bomb isn't quite as impressive as it sounds, since he had no other feats to even remotely back up planetary level durability, and the bomb was more akin to a biological weapon anyway. While Carnage
Apocalypse's gene bomb, powered by celestial technology, did not create a blast equivalent to its planetary range. In fact, the explosion was smothered in a similar method to the tritium bomb, yet appeared smaller, which did not surprise Apocalypse. Carnage's symbiote immunities likely canceled the bomb's biological attack.
Carnage's tendrils could pass speeds of Mach 2, Lucy's vectors once reached into outer space. By timing her accompanying monologue and comparing the longest vector's length to the curvature of the Earth, it's clear she reached over
That way,
2,400
you're not so
miles in
confused
20 seconds.
to why a mouse keeps appearing on the
Way
screen.
longer than Carnage's 2 mile feet.
All this means her vectors were moving
Yeah,
at least
like I said, they're nuclear.
450,000 miles
They're
per hour.
destructive.
More than 500 times the speed of sound and 250 times faster than Carnage.
Good luck getting past that. And this was really the biggest hurdle. With Lucy's redonkulous speed and Carnage's healing powers, it all...
And since Carnage survived the tritium bomb, 125 tons of TNT, with a unique combination of symbiote and goblin powers, it's possible his durability limits are actually less than that.
Well, down to one thing. Who could hit the killing blow first? I mean, Carnage could respawn from scraps, so the only way to beat him for good was to totally vaporize him.
With
And
heat.
Lucy had the perfect answer to that. Remember that time she hit an island so hard she caused a 9.2 magnitude earthquake and a 100-foot tall tidal wave? Such a feat would require an enormous amount of explosive energy, approximately 31,000 tons of TNT, similar to the bomb that hit Hiroshima.
It's literally compared to nuclear fusion in the Elfen Light manga.
Elfen Lied.
It's German.
The point is, in
God
order
damn
to
it,
Carnage for
Boomstick.
good, Lucy
Do I need
needed
to
totally obliterate
Slap
him.
you across the
She
face
could do
with a
that.
wooden
The heat
stick.
produced within the initial impact of a nuclear explosion can reach temperatures up to
That's the honest way of saying
180,000 degrees
you're
Fahrenheit,
stupid.
more than 18 times hotter than the surface of...
Despite Carnage's ridiculous healing factor, there's no evidence to suggest he could survive complete incineration. Also, human blood burns up at 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, 980 degrees Celsius, leaving nothing for the symbiote to regenerate from afterwards. So yeah, in other words... Carnage is fucked. Sorry. So yeah. Carnage was literally fucked from the get-go. Carnage is fucked. And, yeah. Yeah. So, anyway.
the sun.
Carnage
And to
was
top it
fucked
off,
from the
heat
get-go.
was Carnage's biggest weakness. Even if Lucy's explosive force was just a fraction of this.
Sure,
it would
he
still
had
have been
weakness,
far too
traded
much
the
for
weakness
him.
for sound, but he didn't
Just
trade the
needed to
weakness
smack
for,
him before he could power through her vectors,
for,
which chances were pretty slim for that happening anyway, because
heat. Another way to think this both... I can't even read today. Another way to think of this. Both could kill each other in a single fatal hit, and Lucy had many more offensive and defensive options for getting that one hit in first.
there's a bunch of them and they're so damn fast. Hitting Carnage with a big explosion punch was way easier.
Cletus and his symbiote may have had the endurance, but Lucy's space-worthy speed, overwhelming presence, and nuclear strength won the day.
She dealt the carnage needed for a total victory and took the lead.
God damn it,
I said it
Boomstick.
right, Wiz. Happy?
The winner is Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy wins. Lucy wins,
watching,
lol.
And if you enjoyed the fight,
Lucy
you can get first
wins!
membership and watch our commentary.
Lucy
If you want the battle
wins!
music from this episode, you can get it in the link in the description below. You're not Chad.
And we've already seen Optimus versus Gundam, so we don't need to worry about that. But in the original reaction, I will let you know, I was super fucking excited for that. So, alright, so, whoa. What the fuck? What the hell? I did not ask to play Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai, what the fuck? Okay, I think we are done with this episode of The Storm Reacts. I need to turn off the game capture for now until, Alrighty! Final thoughts on Carnage vs. Lucy. It was a pretty good episode. Sure, a lot of people debunk this shit and think, oh, Carnage should have won. He's got the power to possess people. If you would have paid attention to the episode, you would be able to read and see what the tiny details are. That just shows you that people are that stupid. And the fact that I went to, and if you need more evidence, I went to an anime expert. That anime expert being my friend Devlin, who's probably currently at work right now. Then again, why is his status online? That is super fucking weird. He's usually at work at this time frame. He's probably at work, and I don't know. Anyways, yeah, Carnage vs. Lucy. Well, it's not full-blown perfect because there's been new shit for Carnage since since the new movie first came out and shit. And since the new new movie's coming out pretty soon or whatever. And yeah, it's coming out October 1st. And the fact that he's in Fortnite now is it's a really bizarre choice of him being in a game. But hey, at least I fucking like it because I love the symbiotes. And the fact that I love anime, that's another reason why I put it up high on a 9 out of 10. So, final rating for this episode is a 9 out of 10. Now, as for what I'm going to stream next, I don't know, so I will be right back. Sit tight, don't go anywhere. I will figure out what to stream next. Until then, this is your Captain of Hedgewolf signing off. I'll see you in the next stream, so give me a moment.